Our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, is an independent candidate for United States Senate from New York in this upcoming election. She's running against Chucky the Schumer. In 2012 and 2014, she ran for the U.S. House of Representatives in New Jersey's 5th Congressional District in the Democratic primary, calling for the impeachment of then-President Barack Obama. Oh, nicely done. Me too. She is a supporter of political theories and policies advanced by the late presidential candidate Lyndon Larouche, ladies and gentlemen. That's the third rail in American politics. Please welcome Diane Sare. Is that how you say your last name, Diane?
Yes, Fantastic. You got it exactly right.
Okay. Now, Diane, so you're running against Chucky the Schumer, and before you were a Democrat. Now, what made you switch from a Democrat to what's your party now?
Independent, and in New York, there's no such thing, really. So if you want to get on the ballot as an independent, you have to create what they call an independent body. So I chose to name it LaRouche because there's a lot of people in New York familiar with LaRouche, and he was a genius as far as economic policy and other policies went.
So now I don't know much about the LaRouches, but I know you're anti-war, right?
Yes, and you're certainly right that LaRouche is a third rail. I would say his name is more controversial than Donald Trump, even, which is hard to imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
you know that. But you may have seen my billboards that say U.S. out of NATO, dump Schumer. And when I began this campaign, there were actually a couple of things that I was very concerned about. One was Schumer's threat to then incoming President Donald Trump, the 6 ways from Sunday.
Yes.
Right? How dare you reorganize those intelligence agencies that have lied us into war after war after war, that are spying on American people and deep sixing political leaders and everything else. So that had a certain resonance given what happened to LaRouche, the jailing, the 400-person FBI agent raid on his home and various things, and the danger of war. I think we are on the brink of a nuclear war. I think Russia is afraid of that. I don't know if you saw the statement they just put out today, asking for a reiteration of what they said in January about nuclear war cannot be won and must never be fought. I don't think they'd be raising that if they didn't think it was an actual risk right now.
Well, I wouldn't put it past the United States and NATO provoked this invasion, and I wouldn't put it past them if they tried to some kind of goofy first strike bullshit.
What if we do it tactically?
What if, right? They've already.
Well, look, you've seen the public service announcement. You know we can all survive.
Yeah, they're telling us that
it's not that bad.
They're trying to tell us we could survive nuclear war. It's not so bad.
Look, I have a good base tan. I think I'll be fine.
So that's so you're standing up strong and you're calling out the warmongers. And you're a former Democrat, and now you identify with LaRouche. Tell me why is LaRouche the third rail in American politics?
Well, because in the 70s and 80s, he was trying to create something I guess he called the debt bomb, which was to get a block of nations. He was working with Indira Gandhi when she was the head of the non-aligned movement to declare a debt moratorium so you could bring down the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, and you could establish an international development bank that would actually be far more equitable and allow nations to develop as opposed to looting them and stealing all their infrastructure.
So wait a minute. So you're telling me that he had an idea that would undermine the oligarchy, the international oligarchy, billionaire class, and take down and actually be better for the people. And so you're saying that's why they tried to paint him as a crazy?
Yes, I know. Hard to imagine. In fact, we have, through Freedom of Information, a letter that Henry Kissinger sent to the FBI saying, please do something about these LaRouche people. They're getting obnoxious. And I guess you can see from the recent interventions of some of my friends on AOC and Obama and other people that people who are not well-intended might find us obnoxious, but I think we just have to tell the truth.
Oh, that's you guys? I like those guys.
Yeah, so it's the LaRouches who have been protesting Barack Obama and AOC over the funding of nuclear.
Keep them videos coming.
Yeah. So
there'll be more. But the other thing actually was that LaRouche was he was the inventor of the idea which became stupidly called Star Wars, laser defense
That's
against
what I
nuclear
remember.
missiles.
But it wasn't moon colonies. He didn't talk about moon
Oh
colonies.
yeah, absolutely, and Mars colonies. I mean, a
now
40-year
Elon,
program.
but now Elon Musk talks about that shit, and
That's-
everybody,
that's
everybody's
wild to think
excited about it. When LaRouche talked about it, everybody thought it was crazy nutso.
All I remember from college, was the thing of, Star Wars. I remember he got an infomercial way back when, like around when Ross Perot was running, that I watched as a kid, where he was talking about Star Wars. And then I always used to hear Machine Tool Society when I was like, it was like a phrase he used a lot.
Mhm.
But the Mars thing, I kind of remember, like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a.
But is that so? That's where it stems from. That's where people call him crazy.
Well, I think what happened was in '86, his associates began winning a whole bunch of Democratic Party primaries, like lieutenant governor and state controller. So then they said he's a right-wing extremist, left-wing extremist, anti-Semite, homophobe, stole money, blah, blah,
wow.
blah.
The same shit they say about anybody who's outside the
Wait,
two-party system.
Every part of this story is ahead of its time.
That's right. This story is every part of the story is ahead of its time. So I've been to the left of the Democratic Party, like you are on war, and of course I've had all those things said and done about me. Like I just got smeared as an anti-Semite who incited an attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband. I just got.
Right. For him.
I've been. Anyway, so I wish you well in your campaign, and
One thing, let me just add, because as you may know, I'm on the Ukrainian hit list.
oh right, so
Whoa.
they,
Center for Countering Disinformation. Yeah.
so it's a kill list, right?
It is a kill list. I mean, the Mirot Forets, I don't know if I'm on that one yet because it's really hard to search because they do things as pictures, but the Center for Countering Disinformation, which you showed, I am on that list. And they took it down for a while, then they put it back up again. And they added Tucker Carlson, and they added President Museveni of Uganda.
Ah,
I mean, they're really arrogant, these people, but it's not them.
ambitious.
it's it's what? It's the intelligence community that's doing that. No?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They don't do anything. I mean, Zelensky was ready to surrender until Boris Johnson flew over there and said, don't do that. Let us keep sending you weapons so you can all die on behalf of our proxy war with Russia.
Oh, Mark Ruffalo said that it was just all Russia had to do was leave and everything would just be okay. That's all So you're telling me Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk, doesn't know what he's talking about? You mean he's repeating CIA and State Department talking points? A Hollywood celebrity would be doing that?
Wasn't Bruce Banner supposed to be the smart version?
I don't know. Well, so as in the, I think it was Frederick Douglass who said, "I will unite with anyone to do good and with nobody to do bad." So I will unite with anyone who wants to stop this war in Ukraine and avoid a nuclear war. So more power to you, Diane. Good luck in your campaign.
Yeah, that's pretty
Thank
cool.
you.
See you in Denver, Palm Springs, Austin, Texas, and Burbank, California after Thanksgiving. Plus, we're going to be doing a lot of shows in December in Studio City. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a link for all the tickets.